Hi guys, video on Uranium Energy Corporation. This together with like energy fuels and other uranium mining companies. If I speak about this one, it goes for like all of them. You have very high price targets coming from just like your analysis of the chart. You have a perfect 5-wave move here, 2009. Wave 2, with that I can calculate this box. In your wave 3, I'm trying to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in yellow because you had a 5-wave move perfect here again. An ABC here for your wave 2, very shallow, but yeah, not time-wise, just price-wise, it didn't dip a lot, but it was also like an overshooting B if this is the right count, which I think it is because we are going now. We took all-time high with this chart on the daily. We are in the yellow wave 3 in my opinion. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe this is even another 1, 2. I don't know. Who's gonna tell me where this wave 3 is gonna stop? Because we already passed like the minimum targets of a wave 3. But yeah, look, the RSI has been oversold since like July. It's just been grinding upwards ever since. Your weekly RSI is at 80 levels now, I think, approaching 80 levels, and I think Nvidia, etc., when they had their push, they pushed to 90 levels like the RSI, so it might do a little bit sideways then go up. I don't know. Who's gonna tell me when this is gonna slow down a little bit and move a little bit sideways to start a wave 4? I don't know. All I know is that like the risk is a little bit higher to buy here than it was when price was going sideways for a year, or even here. That's analysis wise the chart. If I look at other things, you can notice that the company doesn't report really any earnings. Let's start by, if you go to the company's website, under investors, you can find a lot of information. Like, check these things out. For like every company has this. If you want to invest, especially long term in a company, look up their balance sheet, look up their price action. It's not important for long term. You need to understand what your company is, what they do, their numbers, is there potential? If you look into the future, will it be relevant still or not? I'm not an economist, but like, you don't need to be a economist to be able to do these things yourself and to ask these things for yourself. Uranium has been interesting to me because if you read news about energy, like, countries are pushing back towards nuclear energy because climate change, blah blah blah, and wanting to be independent of like oil and gas. So I know that Trump has been pushing a little bit towards like going back on nuclear. This is an article from yesterday, or like today, but about a meeting from yesterday. I'm quickly just gonna say this. In Kazakhstan, you have like the largest uranium exporter, mining company, not exporter, mining company, and therefore Kazakhstan is a very large uranium exporter. And then this is interesting. Delegation of Kazakhstan invited US companies to participate in upcoming projects to modernize nuclear infrastructure and introduce advanced technologies to improve safety and reliability of nuclear material storage, which is, for me, for example, uranium. Also, you have like the UK-US deal from a few days ago. You have TerraClean, if I'm not wrong, because there's a lot. This is backed by, I thought it was Microsoft, and they want to open up like one of the reactors in America just for their AI and data centers, just to power them alone. You have small modular reactors that are like in development that are way smaller than real large nuclear reactors, but still will need uranium, you know. So that's news related. You can look these things up weekly, monthly for yourself. You have here a database website about nuclear energy. Today, globally, 9% of the electricity is coming from nuclear energy. And yeah, you can just look up this one every year. Just look it up. What is this doing? If it's increasing, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand, oh, okay, active operators. If this goes to 100 next year or in a few years, oh, okay, maybe countries really are pushing back towards nuclear energy. So yeah, it's been stable since like forever. But now again, that's why I'm still like, you need to follow it up very closely. Not only look at this and say, oh, price will go there, you know. You need to look at a lot of things. Also, yeah, coming back to this, why have they got no earnings? If you look at their earnings call, for example, their CEO just says that like they're mining, but they're not selling uranium. They're just selling enough to cover like costs maybe, but they're waiting for the spot price of uranium. Look, the past since 2024 it's been going down a little bit. They're saying we're waiting for prices to go up because they believe in a supply shock that's gonna come, because so many countries are like expecting or wanting to restart and go back more into nuclear energy. So they're expecting a supply shock, and that would drive this price up, and then they want to sell at higher prices with like long-term contracts. So just because they don't show earnings, it doesn't mean they're doing bad. You can look up, for example, their website as well, under Invest. You will find a lot of information, not only for this company, but for all of the companies that have stocks. This is public. Presentation, just quickly this slide alone. Strong balance sheet, they have no debt. So this, it says nothing. They have no debt. They have an inventory of uranium of this much. I don't know how much that is. It's a lot, I guess. It can be more because they haven't been mining a lot, because nuclear energy has been like toned down with all the disasters that, like, not disasters, but the accidents that happened in the 1900s. But now if they ramp it up, imagine they're not selling. They can sell, but they want to sell it later when the price of uranium goes higher, and probably with like multi-year contracts instead of selling it for one time. You know, they want to have like maybe contracts. That's what they are waiting for. Of course, it can all just fail and dump back down, but that's why you need to follow it. This is what I said, like projected production. Now they can increase, but you will have a maximum, and the uranium in the ground will also, like, it won't spawn, you know. It's there, but if you take out, it will also be less to find, or like more difficult to find, unless you find the jackpot. Think about Minecraft, I guess. But I'm not gonna go through all of it. You can do this yourself if you're interested. So uranium sector in general. Look, very, very similar chart on the UU chart. Okay, this one has not taken all-time high yet. Taken the previous swings though. And this company also does like some rare earth minerals, not only uranium. So it's also interesting. But this is a company that's working on SMRs, also not actively selling, or like, because there are, if I'm not wrong, not any SMRs that work or like are already active. It's all in development. The chart is, I don't know, starting to look crazy, because what is this? So many 1-2s, I don't know. Just all I'm saying is uranium sector, nuclear sector is very interesting. You should maybe search a little bit about it, and yeah. And still, for the long term, it could be a really strong move up that's still gonna come. On the weekly RSI, we're at 80. It's high levels now, but if you look Nvidia, when they had their runs, it went up to like 86. So there's still room, and it's also look, while Nvidia was, while the RSI was resetting, it doesn't mean it has to crash. It can just move sideways, and I'm not saying that's gonna happen exactly here, but wave 4s tend to be sideways, and it can do that 2 times here. Maybe after finishing this one, sideways up, and then you approaching this box. But no crystal ball, no financial advice, but worth having an eye on this whole sector actually. Hope this was helpful. I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but it's pre-recorded. I'm gonna go on vacation. I'll be on vacation until the 24th of September. So I'm just uploading 1 video a day until then. And those will be long-term videos. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.